Nev, settling back in?
More or less. Lots to catch up on, but when isn't there? I'm ready to get back to work. If we could skip the personal catch-up. Not the day for it.
Take all the time you need. Carving monsters, huh? Didn't figure you for an artist.
This? It's by necessity. If you know your enemy, their weak spots, maybe you live another day.
Or you could just bring along a really big sword.
Only if you know what to do with it. You hit a rageling in the flank, you'll just send him into a frenzy.
And these will help.
Standard bestiaries are always some mage drawing things they've never seen, taking the piss out of it. They don't understand how when the hunt ends and you come nose to nose with an ogre, someone's going to die. So I'm making the real Monster Hunter manual.
Who are you doing it for?
Balmor, that imbecile in Tebinter, lecturing on things he doesn't know about. And Ludric over in Ravane thinks taking a rock wraith down with a lucky shot makes him a champion.
You think you'd know better? It's sculpting toy monsters that makes you a champion.
That's right. He never understood. You're a funny one.
I couldn't help it.
Okay, maybe I'm taking this a little far. But if you say you're an expert, show me some expertise.
You want pictures of monsters? I can provide some corpses.
A corpse? Nah. Now if you pose next to a Vartero still breathing down your neck, I'll think about it.
Where's the Gloom Howler?
Can't carve it till I know what it is. You want a piece of the Howler, boy?
Is he ready?
Was I ready the first time I fought a Hurlock?
Well, you're still alive.
I got my ass handed to me. Broke 4 ribs and cracked my jaw. Then I got back up and drove a blade through its skull. In this line of work, Asan and I are only as strong as the quarry we hunt.
Makes sense. You'll learn to fight by fighting.
I don't know another way. Out there in the world, you sink or swim.
Can a half-lion, half-eagle swim?
Don't know. Asan?
Which half was that?
Search me. Both halves share the same stomach.
Right. See you around.
So, Emric, you're a Mortalitasi.
Mortalitasi is a general term. I belong to the Moon Watch.
But you are a necromancer.
Yes, certainly.
Usually have to dodge traps and fight spiders to see this much old elven stuff. Talk to Isabella if you want to sell any of it. She'll get you a good deal.
Spoken like a veteran treasure hunter.
Yep, for gold and glory. The Lords make runs no one else can. Isabella's undies would catch fire if she saw all this.
So why do the Lords of Fortune care enough about dragons to have a dedicated dragon hunter?
Lots of great old crap ends up in dragon hordes.
Why do dragons care about gathering treasure? It's not like they go to the market.
Dragons like metals and gems. Anything glittery catches their eye.
So they're like really large magpies?
Kinda. And they live for centuries. Lots of time to gather a bunch of shiny crap. Plus all the gear carried by idiots who thought they could kill a dragon.
Bet you deal with a lot of nasty traps during those treasure hunts.
Yep.
What's the most complicated one you've dealt with?
Old elven armory. Had letters on tiles. Probably supposed to spell out the name of a god or something.
Probably.
I don't read elven. Found handholds in the ceiling and swung across.
That sounds more like a puzzle than a trap.
Ugh. Puzzles.
But puzzles give you a chance to test your wits. To prove you're smart enough to beat whoever designed it.
Ugh.
I ran into one while traveling with Varric. It had these 3 poles with sets of different size rings on 2 of the poles.
And you had to move the rings over to the 3rd pole, and the rings had to be sized right and crap?
Yes. You've seen it.
That thing is Vashadon.
I'd appreciate it if you avoided fencing any of the elven artifacts unless Balara tells you it's okay.
Don't worry about that. The Lords of Fortune aren't thieves.
I mean, aren't you though?
Nah. Anything we hunt is salvage. Old forgotten ruins and crap. And we make sure we're not screwing over a culture that lost it. That's what my mother does with the Kunari stuff.
So your mother appraises Kunari artifacts the Lords of Fortune find?
Yeah. She tells them how rare something is, how much it might be worth. Also tells them if they found something cultural.
Cultural?
You know, important. Stuff you don't want going to some rich noble's collection. The Lords send that stuff back to the Kunari in Parvalin. They pay the Lords a finder's fee.
Interesting. The Lords do all this out of the goodness of their hearts?
We do get paid. Name another job where you get danger pay for killing giant spiders.
Right. For golden glory.
The Lords are good people. They helped my mother when she came here from Kantar. She got here with nothing but me and the clothes on her back. The only skill she had was Kunari history. The Lords gave her work.
How does the Ravani Royal Guard feel about the Lords of Fortune?
They used to complain about us. But that was before the Antam invaded Ravane.
And now Ravane sees the benefits of having a bunch of heavily armed people on their side.
Same for the Pirate Armada. It's bigger than Ravane's official navy. But we're also helping save old artifacts. The Antam are burning ruins as they move south. We get artifacts out before the Antam destroy them. Magical stuff. Cultural stuff. Stuff you don't want to lose.
We should do this again. Grab a drink. Share our tallest tales.
Okay, I was gonna go back to Ravane later. Got a thing to do for my mother. You can come along, if you want.
Do I need to be ready for combat? Or traps?
Nah.
Alright. Just let me know when.
Looks like the Dreadwolf finds his way just about everywhere.
Ravane is on pretty good terms with the Dalish clans. We get elven stuff here and there.
I'm excited to travel together, Tash. I've heard such stories about the Lords of Fortune.
Don't touch me if I die.
I beg your pardon?
Don't do weird magic to my corpse.
I assure you, a watcher always... Wait, what do you mean by weird?
No death magic. Rook gets my body if I die.
And what now?
If that's what you wish.
Get ready to fight.
didn't I?
Oh. Death mage stuff?
I had jam and toast only an hour ago.
Hey. Some for you. Some for you. Hey, don't be a dick. That was for the little one. Stupid birds.
Look at you, feeding the birds.
My mother made me do it when I was young. Sent me out here every night with dinner scraps.
We're a ways from town.
She said I had a lot of energy to burn off. Sometimes I practice with the fire out here. It's safer. No people around. Lots of water.
Is it magic or...?
It's not magic. My mother says the Kunari used to be closer to dragons. Something in our blood.
The Untarm called you a Dari.
Yeah. Old Kunari word for fire breather. A few like me are born every generation. My mother thinks the Dari were meant for something special. She's always looking through the old texts for clues. Come on. Don't want to scare the birds. My mother left the Qun not far from here. She got herself transferred to Kontar from Parvalan. Smuggled me there and then walked out.
I thought Kontar was well fortified. How did she escape with a child?
The Qun isn't a prison. People can leave if they want. You little guys hungry?
Do you miss living under the Qun?
Not much to miss. I was a baby. My mother misses it. She was an Ashkari back then. A scholar.
Why'd she leave?
Me. There's enough for all of you. Shathan was worried about what the Kunari would do with a fire breather like me.
What would they do?
She said they'd have me put in the Antam, use me as a berserker. The idea scared her enough that she left her library and walked away from the Qun. Come on. Over here's where I practice.
Why not on the beach?
The birds just ate. Scare them any more than you already did and they'll be crapping everywhere. What the crap is that?
The Antam must be marking their territory.
Not on my beach. Vashvatari! Come on. These banners need to burn. All right.
Nice. What does it feel like when you breathe fire like that?
It's more like spitting.
Yeah.
Something inside my throat opens up and lets stuff mix together. Then there's this rush of heat as I roar it out.
Oh, I'm surprised it doesn't hurt your mouth to do that.
It can. One time my tongue got in the way. Got a mouthful of fire.
Ouch.
Didn't hurt much. My mother has to make food extra spicy so I can taste it.
I guess that's the trade-off for being a fire breather.
It's fine. I smell stuff better than most people.
An untimed supply cache. Too bad it's locked up.
Not for long. Watch.
Tash, see what you can do. Wow. It burned right through it.
Yep. Melt some metals, not all.
How would you figure out which kinds of metals you could melt?
My mother said I went through a lot of spoons as a baby. This way.
More birds to feed?
Something like that. Karash, it's Tosh. I brought food.
Avatosh, it's good you came early. The feather clouds are getting lower. It's going to rain. Who is this with you?
This is Rook. He's a friend.
A friend. All right. Make sure you both dress for rain. Drip rain, not mist rain.
No good being stuck in the rain. You gonna be okay?
My shelter is enough. It's better for me than being inside.
Karash was a worker caste navigator. Got dragged along with the Antam when they invaded.
They told us it was ordered by the Qun. I was not taught war. I was taught the weather. Red clouds for thunder, gray clouds for rain, green clouds for the devouring storm, and black clouds for the Antam cannons. After what they did in Ventus, I ran away.
Is there anything you need? We saw that the Antam were in the area.
Yes. I knew some of them from the Dreadnought where I worked. I know places to hide. They did not see me.
Let me know if they give you trouble.
I am at peace, Avatosh. I have the clouds to watch and fish to eat.
More than just fish. Here you go. Shathan said to eat the fruit before it spoils.
I like the cookies better.
Everyone likes the cookies better.
I'll eat the fruit. Thank you, Avatosh.
Panahedan. I'll see you soon.
So, the dragon hunter has a softer side.
The Qun says you take care of people.
So, you're a little Kunari, a little Ravani, and a little dragon?
Yeah?
I get that.
Come on. I should tell my mother how Karash is doing. So how do you get it?
I left my old life behind to live in the necropolis with the Moon Watch. And I had to leave that to help stop Solus. So you take what works from each part, right?
Yeah. I had to take Kunari language classes growing up. I had to learn how to tie these stupid knots. It wasn't so bad when the Kunari and Ravane were at peace. Now the Antam have broken from the Qun and started attacking. People look at me like they're scared I'll switch sides.
That's their loss. People who've only ever been one thing will never know how big the world is.
Yeah? Maybe. Mother, what are you doing here?
You used to call me Tama.
I also used to wet the bed. Want me to start that up again?
I'd rather you didn't. Not that it's my business. She's not in my...
She always did like the flustered ones. In truth, Avatosh's tastes are quite varied, although it is uncommon for her to be attracted to men.
Mother.
Perhaps because in some ways, she acts more like a man herself.
Why are you here?
I came to ask Karash about the tablet your group recovered. I wondered if some of the symbols might be used among the Antam.
Be gentle. Don't make him talk about the war.
I see the wisdom of your suggestion. I also see that you used your fire again, Chakra Toebra.
Chakra Toebra.
Remember to keep your consonants crisp. Kunari do not slouch, and neither does our language. Panahedan, Avatosh. You did well bringing Karash his food.
Sorry. She's like that.
She's very involved in your life.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet Karash.
Yeah. It was.
Dweller, who waits within? Another hell awaits between the facing gods. Dweller, it is whole, restored.
It looks like our boy Hassan is feeling his oats. Or whatever griffins feel.
He's getting the hang of it. When he listens.
He seems to be able to handle himself so far.
You got lucky the Gloomhowler didn't tear you to pieces, boy. You wait for my command. We attack together. Then we can kill stuff like that.
At least he's learning.
The instincts kick in. Griffins see darkspawn and it's a fight to the death. Like wolves hunting deer. Just need to corral it.
You never know it to look at him. Seems friendly enough.
As long as he likes you.
So, what I'm hearing, Hassan, is gingerwort truffles for life?
Every muscle in him, every talon, every feather, honed into a killing machine. Hassan's ancestors took on archdemons.
Like his name says, He's an arrow.
Half lion, half eagle, with the instincts of both, griffins will always be hunters.
Just like his daddy, Davrin.
I suppose we are our nature.
Not sure about that.
Most of my life I've hunted the darker things in the world. But caring for a griffin? What do I know about that? Yet here I am.
That's not so bad, is it?
Not the path I expected. Makes me wonder about Hassan, his brothers and sisters, still young, pure.
You're worried.
I'm responsible for the future of every griffin alive. I want it to be a good one. These animals live to fight, but I wonder if there's another path for them.
It's still early. Hassan's just a kid. Let him test the waters, see what shakes loose.
You mean like a parent?
Yep.
Parents. A scary word. I'm supposed to be his bodyguard.
What do you think you've been doing this whole time?
Trying to ignore it. If I get myself killed by a Hurlock, that's on me. If it's Hassan, I just don't want to mess it up.
I think that's where trust comes in. That Turlum idea you keep talking about. Trust Hassan to find his way. Don't force things.
He's headstrong.
Good thing you are too.
Right. Thanks for the chat.
Did I see you writing a message to the Inquisition? What's that about?
You know, Varric and I were part of the Inquisition, right? I'm trying to get news about the South. But Charter hasn't replied to any of my messages. I'm trying not to worry about what's happening there, but... No, it's probably fine. Charter's just busy. She's always busy.
Charter. Who's that?
She's the Inquisition's spy master. Well, no. I guess now that the Inquisition answers to the Chantry, that makes her Divine Victoria's spy master.
I haven't heard much about the Inquisition in years.
Oh, that's intentional. When the breach was open, we needed a large group to stop Southern Thedas from falling into chaos. It's changed in the years since. We're a smaller force working underground to keep an eye on things going on in the world.
Why isn't she here? We could use a hand.
Charter entrusted the search for Solus to Varric, to us. The world's large, and she's got many things to deal with.
So how long were you with the Inquisition? 10 years?
Something like that. Why?
You must know the Inquisitor.
Well, yeah, we worked together. I wasn't part of the Inquisitor's inner circle, though. I spent more time with the ordinary people, the ones you didn't hear about.
So, tell me about these ordinary Inquisition members I haven't heard about.
The Inquisition hired hundreds, and most of them weren't Magisters or Ben Hasrith or the left hand of the Divine. There were scouts and stable hands, carpenters and cooks and quartermasters, even 2 dedicated pastry chefs. Most of them volunteered, like me. We wanted to help in whatever small way we could.
You help people. That's not small.
It sure felt like it sometimes. I'd sit with Rector and Faulkner and we'd watch the important people with their important business rushing by.
Rector? Faulkner?
Liliana gave all her agents pseudonyms.
Right, like Charter.
Well, Charter's Charter, but when the other 2 and I were together, we were just Lace, Wilbur, and Katya.
But you did know people from the Inquisitor's inner circle, didn't you?
I knew them, sure, but those early days, all I wanted was to prove myself and not get in anyone's way. Some of them were more approachable than others. Sarah was a puppy with a new toy. 100 new toys. Fun, if you can handle the mess. She was really the only one who could make Rainier, well, Blackwall then, let down his guard. Otherwise, he kept to himself and stuck to the stables. We'd talk when I visited the horses. And there was Cole, of course.
The spirit boy?
Yep. I was just sitting on the walls one day, and he asked if he could join my game.
Like a card game?
Nah, just good old people watching. Must have seemed like a game to him somehow. We'd pick strangers out of the crowd and try to say something about them. Like, ooh, she heard the joke yesterday and she's still trying not to laugh. Or one of Cole's. His eyes remind her of the ones beneath her bed.
Okay, that's just a creepy thing to say.
Cole was like that. Weird, wonderful, and occasionally a little bit creepy.
Wasn't Cole an empath? He must have been great at this game.
Ah, but the rule was you couldn't say anything you actually knew. He got it in the end. I think.
So you didn't ask him if you guessed right?
Well, being right wasn't the point. Making a habit of seeing people was. I think he liked that. It's why you don't miss.
And the Inquisitor's advisors, what about them?
Of all of them, I'd say Josephine is my favorite. She's lovely. She still sends me a box of handmade sweets from Val Royeaux every year on my name day. Cullen and I got along too, but he was always busy. He would have bad days from lyrium withdrawal sometimes, and I would share the tea that my ma sent. He's from Ferelden too. Maybe it reminded him of home.
What about Liliana? I heard she's intense.
I think she likes to cultivate that reputation. She's not nearly as terrifying as she sounds. Oh, I passed her in the Great Hall one day, and she suddenly turned and asked me if I wanted a nug.
A nug? Those small pink rodent things? What for?
She loved them and made a hobby of breeding them as pets.
So, did you take the nug?
No! What am I gonna do with a nug?
Do you miss it? The Inquisition, I mean.
It's hard to miss an organization. They're only as good as their people, don't you think? But I do miss my friends. We write each other, but it's not the same. And the Inquisition is different from what we've built here. Not better or worse, just different. It's special when you're among people working toward the same goal.
Not everyone. There was Solus. What did you really think of him back then?
Lonely. He always seemed lonely. It's hard not to be when you hold yourself above everyone else.
As smart as he's supposed to be, there's just some things he doesn't get. At all.
Yeah. Maybe one day he will. Maybe. If you help him. Anyway, I'm sure something out there's on fire, and here I am rambling about the past. I should let you go. Talk later?
And now a dragon! What's happening to this city? I heard some people... There was something I could do.
What could...
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, You remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Trevelyan, the woman who led us all.
You're here to help? Or are you taking over?
I'm not taking over. Solus fooled the Inquisition. He fooled me. Your team stopped him. And your team is dealing with the gods that escaped.
So you've heard about them?
Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elganon and Gillenane.
We've been doing what we can, but I'll be honest. Right now it feels like we're in over our heads.
You've already faced setbacks. You'll face more. Your actions will have consequences.
Did you see what happened to the Viper? We know all about consequences.
Such thinking is a trap you can ill afford. The Viper was blighted because of Elganon and Gillenane, but the city of Treviso was saved because of you.
I wasn't ready to become the Inquisitor. I wasn't ready to have to choose between helping Templars or mages, or decide the fate of every Grey Warden in southern Thedas. Eventually, when the choices I made caught up with me, I turned the Inquisition over to the Chantry rather than create even bigger problems. Maybe someday you'll face the same situation. But I'm asking you not to worry about that future until we have one. Right now, we need you to stop the gods.
All right. I'll do my best.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
If the South is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morrigan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's Viravus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet her.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the south?
Elganon and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
Darkspawn have cut through the center of Orlais. Valrorio and Halam Shiral are barely holding out. Ferelden would have fallen already, if not for help from Orzammar. With Denerim lost, the Fereldans are holding the line at Redcliffe. The Free Marchers have the worst of it. Acting Viscount Aveline Valen led the evacuation of Kirkwall. She's taking her people and what's left of her army to help Prince Vale keep Starkhaven.
Maker, we didn't know. My ma...
Don't worry. I talked to the Divine and your mother's safe with the Inquisition.
Thank you.
The Inquisition might just be an arm of the Chantry now, but we've still done our part to get people to fight this threat together. Again. The South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the Blight.
I've been having some trouble getting people in authority to listen to us. If you help with some of your political strength.
My political strength? Tevinter hates me. The Venatori helped make sure of that. And while I have a few friends in the Wardens, their leadership hasn't much cared for me since we clashed at Adamant Fortress.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette? Something to do with Solus?
I found it right around the time Solus's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the veil. To him. Somehow.
Solus is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
I appreciate it. Solus has been helpful while he's trapped in the Fade, but anything that can help me get inside his head will help counter him getting inside mine.
Wisely spoken. Solus rarely lies directly, but he finds ways to weave the truth into a noose you find yourself wearing.
Morrigan is right. Solus is dangerous. Anything that gives us some insight into his plans. He fooled us all before, and the whole world very nearly paid the price for it.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.